Hi everybody, thanks for stopping by. Today we're taking a look at the current production 2023 Citori 725 with the steel receiver, 28-inch Invector double seal chokes. It's a beautiful gun. It's actually quite a bit lighter than most steel receiver over and unders. The triggers are fantastic. This is the Browning hybrid mechanical trigger. And the trigger is very little take up, extremely crisp. On the trigger gauge it breaks 3 pounds, 3 ounces. I mean, just incredible. So just a very little take up, and that is very close to a glass rod break. So, best triggers I've experienced on a Browning over and under for a long time. This is the field model. It's called the Browning Grade 2, Grade 3 wood. And it's more Grade 2 or Grade 1.5. Pretty much straight grained wood. Nothing going on here. I wouldn't call it high grade wood. It's attractive, but nothing particularly noteworthy. The 725 Featherlight that I tested a while back had a much nicer walnut set. So, the inflex pad, it's not as well fitted as a ground pad. Nothing beats a ground pad. But Browning does a pretty good job with their molding. Like I said, you can catch your fingernail. It's certainly not a perfect fit, but for a hunting gun, not bad. And most importantly, it works. So, let's see if we can break a few clay pigeons here. Yes, the recoil is very, very comfortable. Recoil is very, very comfortable in this gun. The pad does a good job. Let's check the ejection. Not a problem. It's 5 to 6 foot ejection on the empties. You'll love the trigger on this gun. You'll like the weight for a steel receiver gun. So it's a very soft shooting gun, and it's a nice weight. The balance is very good as well. As mentioned, the triggers are outstanding. So there's really not much to gripe about. I found a couple things. The center bead is just pressed in. It's not threaded. So if you want to pluck it out, if it bothers you, you're left with a gaping hole in the rib. Now, I don't know why they have center beads on hunting guns. Doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. But in this case, the center bead is not larger than the front bead. So they pretty much blend into one. Although I would have the identical sight picture if you just plucked out the center bead. So it doesn't really serve any purpose. It essentially obliterates the front bead, almost obliterates it, so I don't understand what the purpose is. The main flaw with this example, it has a very, very stiff Tang safety. Now that is pretty stiff. Although the Browning Tang safety is good, a lot of purchase here with the raised portion. This is just not what I would want with gloved hands stepping on a pheasant. So I mentioned it to Browning. It could be a burr, a little debris in there. Other than that, without taking off the buttstock, it's really hard to say. But this is, it's about the stiffest safety I've had on an over and under in recent memory. So that would be a problem. That's really the only stopper on this gun for me. I would like to see a little bit nicer walnut on the 725. But the triggers are great. The balance is good. And for a steel receivered gun, it's extremely light. So it does a good job. The double seal chokes, Browning is not overly generous with the chokes they give you. So for this over and under, they just give you 3. The 20 gauge is not as egregious as the 12 gauge, but generally the chokes are mismarked a little bit, significantly in the 12 gauge. So if you want a modified choke, you're going to have to go with at least an improved modified. And a modified gives you roughly an improved cylinder. So about 1 tighter choke marking to get the equivalent pattern. Of course, the shell has something to do with it. But it handles well, and the balance, very, very nice. No, there's no reason that you can't enjoy carrying this gun for all day. So that's it. It's about what I expected. You'll have to invest in a couple of extra choke tubes. The excessively stiff Tang safety to me is an anomaly because I haven't had that with the last 7 or 8 Brownings that I've tested. Browning over and unders generally have good barrel regulation, which is a problem with several over and under shotguns. And if each barrel throws the pattern 7-8 inches away, you've got a problem. And there's really no fixing it because nobody hand regulates mass-produced shotgun barrels. So if you want an over and under shotgun with good barrel regulation, for the price, Browning is where they need to be on that. Fab Arm and Citori is also very consistent as far as barrel regulation. So that's a quick look at it. The Tang safety's got to be improved, and I would pluck out the center bead, although it leaves just an unsightly hole. So I don't know why they do that. There is no little flush plug that Browning offers, at least according to the folks down in Arnold. But very, very nice upland hunting gun, and I like it. Overall, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Overall, I'd give it 9 out of 10. If it didn't have a center bead, and if it had a more usable Tang safety, it would be at least a 9 3/4. Like I said, you don't buy a hunting gun only for the wood, but I would like to see a little more going on. Although it's nicely colored, nicely matched in color and tone, the forearm and the buttstock, and the pad is terrific. So, good job by Browning. See if the center bead bothers you or not before you pick one up, and you might want to check your Tang safety. Other than that, good gun. Before I forget, let me just take a couple shots. Again, 7/8 ounce, 1200 foot per second loads at mud. That's what we have, is just mud, muddy field. And you can see that this gun just doesn't move me around much at all. Don't feel anything. Nothing on the shoulder, nothing on the face. So, very, very comfortable shooting gun. You might like a heavier gun for clays or 12 gauge, but no question, certainly casual clays, you can have a lot of fun with this gun with 7/8 ounce loads without getting beat up, because there's just nothing to feel here at all. So that's it. 725 Browning Citori 20 gauge, 28 inch Invector DS barrels, which are a lot lighter than the old type barrels, and that gives you the better balance, overall lighter weight, and more responsiveness. So, we'll see you.